Welcome. We know this year, the 2021 school year, is going to be different from any that we have had or encountered before. But we are excited to get our students back, and we have been working hard, and we know we're going to be ready together. This wouldn't have been possible without so many people being involved in the hard work and the preparation and the planning. Our staff, our community, and our parents certainly have all worked hard to make this day and this school year a great one. Some of the things that you're going to see this year that are going to look different would be the kindergarten is now going to come in an AM and PM fashion. And we did that to enable those young people to have a great first experience with school. They're going to have a smaller class size and be able to come in and really focus on making their first experience with school a great one. We were able to, through the community support and to be able to move some student body around and take full advantage of these new state-of-the-art buildings, we were enabled to keep our classes 1 through 5 will be here 5 days a week. And those students will be socially distanced and they'll be spread out in order to have 5 days of instruction. Our 6 through 12 is going to be here on a blue-gold schedule. And we're going to have students, again, be able to keep those class sizes small, keep kids physically distanced, and all the layers of safety that we have in place by doing that. You're going to see some of the transportation is going to look different. Again, we were able to, through subscription busing, be able to bring 1 student per seat and to be able to load from the back to the front. Some of those new things that our students are going to encounter on a daily basis, again, are all part of that layering of protection in order to keep our students safe. As always, just like any other school year, student safety is our utmost priority. And we believe we've put together a plan which you're going to be an important part of every morning, starting with those health assessments of your student, right through the bus pickup throughout the day, and when we drop them back off safely at the end of the day. We're all going to be in this, and we're going to be ready together.
This year we asked parents to subscribe to busing online. Thank you for the parents that did this. It allowed us to have a lower head count on the buses.
This year, all students will be asked to wear a mask when on the bus. All of our buses are equipped with hand sanitizer stations, and students will be asked to use the sanitizer while entering the bus.
All students will be seated from back to front, 1 student per seat. The windows and the roof hatches will be open for proper air ventilation.
So this year our school district has decided to move the kiosk into the foyer area to further limit the amount of visitors that are coming inside of our main office. So if a parent comes to the middle school and they want to drop something off for their student, they will simply have a doorbell where they can ring, talk to our main office secretary about why they are there. If they have something to drop off, we'll have a table in that area where they can just put the name of their child on it and set it there so that we can have the student come and get it. This allows us not to have that parent in our main office at all, but just in the foyer area. If you're coming to pick up your student, we will still have that kiosk and that license scanner here in that foyer where you can go through the same process that you have always gone through to get your student and pick them up. We will simply call the student down and the student will come into the foyer so that you can then exit. Again, providing a situation so that our parents never have to enter the main office and limiting exposure as much as we can, as often as we can. So as students enter the building, they will either off the bus or off the parent drop-off lot, they will have a scanner in place. We also have a backup no-touch thermometer in case the line does start to grow. But if a student comes up to this machine, they simply will stand in front of that machine and it will notify you whether or not your temperature is within range, which gives you a green signal, and if not, it will light red and have an alarm sound as well, just so that we know that that is the case. If a student approaches without a mask, it will light red and then not allow and remind the student that they need to place a mask on before they enter the building.
I'm Beth Wisletsky, and I'm the district nurse for Tallmadge, and I work for Akron Children's Hospital. I have 3 medical assistants, one in each building, and they will be here from the time your student comes to the school till the end of the day when they leave. So it's really, really important this year that you need to assess your student at home before they leave for school. If they have a fever or a stomach ache or runny nose, cough, shortness of breath, maybe muscle aches, sore throat, you want to make sure you're keeping them at home, especially if they have a fever. We will be scanning each student as they walk in, checking for fevers. And if they have any symptom at all, we will be sending them home. So if you need any information at all about COVID-19 symptoms, maybe to go over masking with your student or washing their hands, distancing, all that, you can go to the Health and Nursing Services page on the Tallmadge website, and all that information will be there and updated at least monthly.
So our 5th grade students are going to be starting a phase-in process where they come 1 out of 3 days. The following week, then, they will attend every single day with their teachers in person. Our 6th through 8th grade will be attending on the blue-gold schedule, which is sorted out mostly by the alphabet A through K and L through Z. Those students will be coming specifically on those days for in-person learning, and then the day that they are not here, they will be doing virtual activities and lessons at home with those same teachers directing that instruction. We are opening our doors at 7:05. Obviously, it might be a couple minutes before that, but once students are dropped off, if they are a parent drop-off, they will be coming in door number 1, which is our main parking lot. As students enter, they will get their temperature checked and they will head directly to their homerooms. If they are bus riders, as those buses unload, we will check temperatures of all of those students as well. And once they enter, they will as well go to their homerooms. Once they're in homerooms, we'll have a little bit of time where we plan to hold a virtual morning meeting, just like we have in the past for our students during that period as we're getting everyone in the building. So as students arrive in their class setting, the desks will already be socially distanced, so students will have assigned seats that they sit in. Once students have a seat, obviously the lesson will take off from there. When the lesson ends or there's a transition, they will clean those desks. So the teachers will have sanitizer in their room where they spray the seats and the desks that teachers will then clean and wipe down with the students in preparation for the next group. So some of the additional safety protocols that we have in our building are obviously we are checking temperatures as students arrive and making sure that they don't have a fever as they enter. We will be also kind of structuring our transitions and our traffic patterns to allow for as little crossover as possible. We are limiting our bathroom capacity and limiting water fountain usage, so we will have some extra water bottles on hand for those students that need that. So building cohorts for this opportunity was a little bit easier probably for the middle school because we are currently on a teaming schedule. So what we have done is kept those classes that are part of the teams and built those in as cohorts. So there will still be a little bit of group connecting between those 2 classes or 3 classes in some circumstances, but ultimately that cohort of students will interact with only those groups. So for example, in 7th grade, our Vikings team will only interact with Viking students as they transition throughout the day and attend classes. And that does include our exploratory and their lunch because we will be having our lunches in the classroom this year as a result of trying to keep those cohorts as safe and connected as possible. So lunch this year will be in classrooms, unfortunately, which classrooms in our building are already socially distanced so that they have space in between students. And actually we've been able to achieve 6 feet of distance in every single classroom in every circumstance. So those students will simply stay in their block or academy prior to their lunch and just stay in there. And that allows us to be able to have that cohort stay the same, and lunches will in effect be brought to them if they're packers. 5th grade is a little bit of an exception because they're spread out on the 1st floor. So any student in the 5th grade that needs to purchase a lunch will actually come to our kitchen just like they always have to get their lunch and then return to their classroom to eat it. So as we met with the task force this year, we discussed a lot of these different options. One of the options that we spent a lot of time on was lockers and the use of lockers. We felt that as we discussed it, there were just a lot more problems than we felt we could achieve by giving them lockers. So as a building, we have decided this year that we will allow students to carry backpacks. We will not issue lockers, and we'll continue to reevaluate and address those concerns. So if we get towards the winter and we determine that it's necessary, we can always reevaluate. But we're going to start the year with backpacks, so students are allowed to bring backpacks and materials in that backpack throughout the day. As we bring students in and our temperature checking, it naturally allows us to spread them out as they enter. Teachers will be doing a lot of work to try to separate those students and prepare them for things like dismissal, or if they're traveling as a group, to spread students out to make them as socially distanced as possible. In addition to that, we will be cleaning the classrooms with an electrostatic cleaner every single night. So all of the classrooms will get that treatment every night, in addition to the daily cleaning that will happen. Our goal is to provide as clean and safe an environment for all of our kids, and we feel very good about the process that we have in place.
As always, communication is so important for all of us in helping create safe and healthy environments for our students. And we would just ask that you keep up to date by going to our website, where we have a wealth of resources and the most current information regarding the school year. So again, on behalf of the Tallmadge Board of Education, the staff, the students, we are so excited to have you back this year, and we just would like to welcome you back